What's happening in the world of tech right now? We've got the inside scoop on major developments that could reshape your digital landscape. From groundbreaking legal cases to iconic game anniversaries, stay with us for the unmissable updates you need to know. Let's dive in. First up, a significant legal development in the tech world. We're looking at a former Intel engineer facing serious consequences for trade secret theft. This case highlights the critical importance of intellectual property in today's competitive market. Next, we celebrate a milestone for one of the most enduring games in computing history. Get ready to go back in time as we explore the incredible 35-year journey of a beloved classic. Then, we shift gears to the evolving world of work. Microsoft's latest policy change is set to impact thousands of employees, detailing new requirements for office attendance. What does this mean for the future of hybrid work? And finally, a major internal review is underway at a tech giant. We're diving deep into an urgent probe launched into a key cloud business segment, a move that follows significant internal debate. All this and more, right here on Microsoft Sphere. Don't go anywhere. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a single update. Ex-Intel engineer faces penalties for trade secret theft. A former engineer from Intel has been sentenced and fined a substantial amount for the illicit acquisition and dissemination of trade secrets. The court's decision underscores the severe repercussions of intellectual property theft in the highly competitive technology sector. The engineer, whose identity has been widely reported, was found guilty of unlawfully obtaining confidential company information and subsequently sharing it with Microsoft. The judge presiding over the case highlighted the gravity of the offense, stating that the stolen materials were indeed utilized during negotiation processes. This incident brings to the forefront the critical need for robust cybersecurity measures and stringent adherence to intellectual property laws within multinational corporations. The case, which has garnered significant attention, serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that even large tech companies face. Trade secrets, often representing years of research, development, and substantial financial investment, are the lifeblood of innovation. Their unauthorized disclosure can lead to significant competitive disadvantages, financial losses, and erosion of market trust. The specific details of the trade secrets were not fully disclosed to the public, but their nature was significant enough to warrant a severe legal response. The fine imposed, amounting to $34,472, while substantial, is often seen as a deterrent rather than full compensation for potential damages incurred by the affected company. Legal experts suggest that such penalties aim to send a clear message to individuals and organizations that intellectual property rights will be vigorously protected. This event also raises questions about the internal controls and employee vetting processes within major technology firms. While the focus is on the individual's actions, the broader implication for corporate security is undeniable. Companies are continuously investing in advanced security protocols, encryption, and employee training to prevent such breaches. However, the human element remains a critical factor, and the loyalty and ethical conduct of employees are paramount. The involvement of Microsoft as a recipient of the shared information, even if unknowingly or under circumstances that do not imply complicity, places a spotlight on the complex interdependencies and competitive dynamics within the tech industry. The proceedings also highlighted the challenges in proving the extent of damage caused by the leaked information, especially when it pertains to strategic advantages and future product development. The sentencing is expected to have a ripple effect across the industry, potentially leading to increased scrutiny of employee access to sensitive data and more rigorous enforcement of non-disclosure agreements. Industry analysts are closely watching how this case might influence future legal battles over intellectual property and the evolving landscape of corporate espionage. The public reaction has been mixed, with some commending the swift action taken by the courts to uphold the law, while others express concern over the potential for overreach and the impact on whistleblowing activities. Regardless, the message is clear. Protecting proprietary information is a non-negotiable aspect of operating in the modern technological era. This development marks a significant moment in intellectual property law. Now, let's shift to a celebration of digital history and a game that's been a part of our lives for decades. 35 years of Microsoft Solitaire, an enduring legacy. It's been 35 years since Microsoft first introduced Solitaire to the world, and the game has evolved from a simple tool to familiarize users with the mouse into a global phenomenon inducted into the World Video Game Hall of Fame. Since its inception in 1990 with Windows 3, Solitaire has been played by over 500 million people across every continent, including Antarctica, and localized into 65 languages. This enduring popularity speaks volumes about the game's timeless appeal and its significant role in the history of personal computing. Originally conceived as a way to ease new computer users into the functionality of a mouse, Solitaire's intuitive gameplay and simple objective, arranging cards into ordered piles, made it instantly accessible. The cascading card animations upon winning a game, a hallmark of early Windows versions, added a layer of delight and reward. For many, like our own Ariana Tori, Solitaire became a comforting companion during childhood and adolescence, a reliable source of entertainment during idle moments, whether waiting for a dial-up connection to load or avoiding chores. The game's presence in Windows 95, alongside other classics like FreeCell, Hearts, and Minesweeper, cemented its place in the digital landscape of the 1990s, offering a simple yet engaging escape. As technology advanced, so did Solitaire. The introduction of Spider Solitaire with Windows XP brought a new level of challenge, and subsequent versions of Windows continued to include these beloved card games. Even as the gaming world exploded with more complex, graphically intensive experiences on consoles and PCs, Solitaire maintained its appeal through its simplicity and accessibility. It required no special hardware or downloads, making it a readily available pastime. This inherent ease of access ensured its continuous presence in the lives of millions, a constant in an ever-changing digital world. In the era of smartphones and app stores, Solitaire transitioned into the digital marketplace with the Solitaire Collection. While the pre-installation model shifted, the game found new life as a downloadable app, offering enhanced features like daily challenges and achievements to cater to a more goal-oriented generation of gamers. However, the introduction of ads within the app, some unskippable, led to a decline in user experience for some. This shift also coincided with the rise of a vibrant indie game scene, where games like Balatro, inspired by Solitaire's mechanics, have achieved massive success. Even major players like Activision, owned by Microsoft, have entered the fray with variations like Candy Crush Solitaire, demonstrating the game's ongoing influence and adaptability. Despite these modern iterations and the vast array of other games available, the core appeal of Solitaire remains. For many, it's the pure, unadulterated pleasure of sorting cards, a nostalgic link to simpler times. It represents a time when digital entertainment was less about constant stimulation and more about quiet engagement. As we celebrate its 35th anniversary, Solitaire stands not just as a game, but as a testament to enduring design and its profound impact on our digital lives, proving that sometimes the simplest pleasures are the most powerful. This journey through digital nostalgia is truly remarkable. But what about the present and the future of how we work? We're turning our attention to new office policies. Microsoft mandates return to office policy, 3 days in or face consequences. Microsoft is implementing a new return to office policy that requires most employees to spend at least 3 days per week in the office. This directive signals a significant shift for the tech giant, moving away from the widespread remote work flexibility that characterized the early stages of the pandemic. The policy aims to foster collaboration, innovation, and a stronger company culture, according to internal communications. The new guidelines, which are set to take effect soon, stipulate that employees are expected to be physically present at their designated Microsoft Office locations for a minimum of 3 days each week. While there are provisions for exceptions based on specific roles or circumstances, the overarching expectation is a hybrid model that blends in-office and remote work. This move aligns Microsoft with a growing number of large corporations that are calling their employees back to physical workspaces, citing benefits such as spontaneous idea generation, improved team cohesion, and more effective onboarding for new hires. This policy change is not without its complexities and potential challenges. Employees who have grown accustomed to the benefits of remote work, such as reduced commute times, greater work-life balance, and increased autonomy, may find the transition difficult. The effectiveness of a mandated 3-day in-office presence is also a subject of ongoing debate among industry experts and employees alike. Critics argue that forcing employees back into the office, especially for a fixed number of days, could stifle productivity, lead to decreased morale, and potentially increase employee turnover if not managed carefully. The success of this policy will likely depend on Microsoft's ability to create compelling reasons for employees to come to the office and to ensure that the in-office experience is more productive and engaging than remote work. Microsoft has indicated that managers will play a crucial role in implementing the policy, working with their teams to determine specific in-office days and ensuring that collaboration is maximized. The company is also reportedly investing in upgrading its office spaces to create more dynamic and collaborative environments, including enhanced meeting room technology and more flexible work areas. This investment is aimed at making the office a destination that employees want to visit, rather than a place they are simply required to be. The company's approach to this transition will be closely watched by other businesses navigating similar decisions about the future of work. The broader implications of this policy extend beyond Microsoft's own workforce. It serves as a significant indicator of the direction many large organizations are leaning towards as they seek to redefine their post-pandemic operational strategies. The emphasis on in-person collaboration reflects a belief in the irreplaceable value of face-to-face interaction for certain aspects of business, particularly in a field as dynamic and collaborative as technology. The coming months will reveal how effectively Microsoft manages this transition and what impact it has on its workforce and overall operational effectiveness. This significant shift in workplace strategy is certainly a major talking point. Now, let's pivot to an internal review that's making headlines at the same tech giant. Microsoft launches urgent probe into Israeli cloud business amid employee concerns. Microsoft has initiated an urgent internal investigation into its cloud business operations in Israel, a move that follows significant internal dissent and protests from some employees. The probe is reportedly focused on the company's dealings with the Israeli military and government, specifically concerning its cloud services, also known as Project Nimbus. The context for this investigation is rooted in employee activism and ethical concerns. For months, employees have voiced strong opposition to Microsoft's involvement in Project Nimbus, a $1.2 billion contract awarded to Microsoft and Amazon Web Services by the Israeli government. Protests, including walkouts and public statements, have occurred, with some employees expressing that the company's actions in supporting the Israeli military's operations in Palestine contravene Microsoft's stated values and ethical principles. These internal criticisms have put considerable pressure on the company's leadership to address the concerns. The urgent probe aims to review the specifics of Microsoft's cloud business in Israel, seeking to understand the extent of its involvement and to ensure compliance with both internal policies and external regulations. While Microsoft has maintained that its contracts are for civilian purposes and do not involve the development of weaponry or specific military applications, employees involved in the protests have argued that the cloud services provided indirectly support military actions. The core of the dispute lies in the interpretation of these contracts and the ethical implications of providing technology that could be used in conflict zones. This situation highlights a growing trend within the tech industry where employees are increasingly taking a stand on the ethical implications of their company's work, particularly concerning government contracts and geopolitical issues. Microsoft, being a global technology leader, is under intense scrutiny. The company's response, including the launch of this probe, is being closely watched as a test case for how tech giants navigate the complex intersection of business interests, employee activism, and ethical responsibilities. The outcome of the investigation could set precedents for how similar situations are handled in the future across the industry. The internal review is expected to be thorough, examining the sales processes, contractual agreements, and the direct and indirect impacts of the cloud services provided in Israel. Microsoft has stated its commitment to transparency and to addressing the concerns raised by its employees. However, the sensitive nature of the project and the strong opinions on both sides suggest that finding a resolution that satisfies all parties will be challenging. The company faces the delicate task of balancing its business objectives with its commitment to ethical conduct and employee well-being. This internal review is a critical development with far-reaching implications. Now, let's wrap up all the top stories with a quick recap. And that's a wrap on today's Essential Tech Updates. We covered a former Intel engineer facing penalties for trade secret theft, celebrated 35 years of Microsoft Solitaire, detailed Microsoft's new return-to-office mandates, and explored the urgent probe into its Israeli cloud business. Don't miss out on future updates. Like this video, subscribe to Microsoft Sphere, ring that notification bell, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Follow us on all our social media channels for more insights. We'll see you next time.